Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want to say thank you so much for our subscriber. We see you, hear you. Thank you so much. And want to say like, love, like, share, make comments, and share this channel to your friend. Forward this channel to your friends. That's how we can grow. I want to say thank you so much for those that subscribe. But we still want you guys to make comments. Make one or two comments so that we should understand that our content is actually making impact in people's life. So this video is just a follow up on the video we make the other day for how comparisons would how comparison will stop you from achieving your success. This is just a follow up video, and this video will be looking at how to stop comparison from controlling your life. Because it's one thing to identify comparison, it's one thing to stop comparison totally. It's one thing to say to yourself, you know what? That's it. I'm not comparing myself with nobody. I grow. I'm against myself. I grow one day at a time. Okay. So we'll be talking about exactly how to stop comparison from destroying your life. Because if you don't do that, it's going to mess up your life. It's either you accept or you don't accept. It's gonna either way. It's going to destroy your life. So how do you actually stop comparing? So that's the discussion. How do we actually stop comparison? Because we want you to is wanting to accept that yes, this is destroying my life. How do you stop comparing? The first step is awareness. You need to be aware that I'm having this issue and I need to manage this issue. Okay? Notice the moment your mood change. Just to be clear, this is not mood swing. This is when your mood change. Meaning that when something happen, you notice that sometimes you're not happy. You would know this. You notice when administration turn to self-rejection. The point you admire somebody to a point that you begin to reject yourself. You know that point. I'm not going to explain that to you. My job is not to explain that to you, but you know what I'm talking about. The moment you admire somebody, like I said, admiring somebody is not bad. I walk to people and admire them, say, you look amazing. This clothes looks amazing. And that's it. I walk away. You notice when inspiration becomes insecurity. It's key. You cannot change what you do not notice. You cannot change what you do not notice. Okay? And the second step is to protect your mind. You got to protect your mind. You know, saying this for me, it's something that I have lived through. You got to protect your mind. Not everything deserves access to your attention. That's why I said social media, not every content you consume. There are some content you see, just let it go. There are some content that are just noise. Not everything you see you should be looking at. As a matter of fact, there are some things you should not be. Sometimes just off your phone, you know, because if you don't stop consuming this content, you cannot control comparison because it will take you off. Now, if certain content makes you feel consistently inadequate, makes you feel insecure, makes you feel bad of yourself, step away from it. That's when you say, you know what, I'm no more interested in this. And there's a way you can stop the algorithm. I think there's a way you can set. I think one of the apps is going to say, do you like seeing this content? You know, it tells you. At that point, just say no, because such content would always impact your growth. If certain people trigger constant self-doubt, create distance. If people always makes you look below, if people makes you feel, if you have friends, right, anybody around that makes you feel insecure, that makes you feel not confident of yourself, you need to allow those people to go. You need to allow those people to go, because not everybody deserves to be in your life. If they are not on your journey, please write this down. If they are not on your journey, please tell them to leave. I'm not telling you fight them. No, I'm not saying you fire them. Just tell them, you know what? Stop talking to them. Give them space. Now, if certain environment make you feel that you must perform to be worthy, question that environment. Because people want you to always be delivering, because that is not your life. Remember Formula One. Always remember Formula One. Everybody have a destination. Our hands are not equal. Protecting your peace is not weakness, it is wisdom. We've talked about this so many times in our video. But this time we're talking about comparison. Now, the third step is reconnect with your own life. Can you imagine? Because you've lost your life. You need to recall, you know what? This is me. This is this is what I can achieve. This is my growth. This is where I'm going step by step. Your growth has to be step by step because you don't know how that person has done it. Your growth has to be step by step. It's pain. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes courage. But guess what? You're going to get there. Write down how far you've come. Take a pen, take a sheet, or these days use your tablet. I think on this tablet today they have notepad or something. Write down what you've achieved. Okay, write down what you've achieved. It's very important for you to write down what you've achieved. Write down what you've survived. Write down the growth nobody applaud you about. Because there's some growth you would achieve. Nobody know that growth. It's only you that know the growth. Maybe you are just out from addiction. Maybe you are being addicted to something, but you've just break that barrier. It's a milestone. Okay? Or maybe you are trying to achieve something in the gym or something. You keep doing it. You say to yourself, I must hit the gym 3 times in a week. And every month you do it. That's a milestone. That's a goal. And that's a progress. Write down the habits you've built. I mean the good ones, not the bad ones. Write it down. Write down the way you are stronger now than you used to be. Write it down. Now, comparison makes you forget. Comparison makes you, but reflection, when you reflect back, it helps you remember your achievements. The first step is gratitude. We've talked about this so many times in our video, but I keep saying because you know why? Gratitude is a power. Gratitude for the lesson, gratitude for the progress, gratitude for the strength. A grateful heart does not eliminate ambition. It simply makes ambition healthier. Okay? All these things are key. So now let us, I want last thing before we leave this section. Define success by yourself. It is very important for you to define your success by yourself. Do not allow people place what you cannot what you cannot achieve in your life. Because the moment you begin to want to achieve that goal, it derail you from your direction. So define your success by yourself. Your success has your success is for you, not by trend, not by pressure, not by appearance, not by getting most attention, not by getting like, not by getting follower. No, no, no. I want followers, right? What I'm saying is, for the topic I'm talking about, ask yourself one question. Just ask yourself, say, what kind of life actually matters to me? What do I see as growth? Take a pen and write it down. What keep peace? What kind of peace do I want to protect? Ask yourself, what kind of peace do I want to protect? What kind of confidence do I want to build? Do I need a confidence that I would always ask my friend before I do anything? Do I want confidence where I need people to approve me? Do I want confidence where I need people to suggest for me? That's not what you need. You need to decide yourself. Because if you never define success by yourself, this is what's going to happen. The world will define it for you and it will never be satisfied. Because if you can't define your own success, people will do it for you. People people would people would define success for you. People would define success for you. So that's the question. So in conclusion, real confidence is quiet. Real confidence is quiet. Hi, once again. So it's just continuation. So as I was saying, so the point is, right? If certain channel, ask yourself this question. Those questions we've asked before. Okay, what kind of confidence do I want to build? Everything we've said previously, you need to ask yourself this question. It's very important. So lastly, because I tell you this video will not be more than 15 minutes maximum. We'll try to make our video short, okay? So the real confident is quiet. I tell you, confident. That confident is very quiet. It's not loud. It's not loud. It's quiet. The real confidence is not loud. It does not need to prove anything to nobody. You do not need to prove yourself to nobody. You do not need to compete. You don't, because you know why? They're going to see workings in your life. They're going to see progress in your life. Okay? You do not need to announce yourself every second. You don't need to go online and post yourself on every achievement. I have achieved this. You go to this app, you go to that app. You don't need it. The real confidence is quiet. It's the peace of knowing who you are without needing constant validation. I keep saying it in our video. You do not need people to validate you. You do not need your friends to tell you what to do. You do not need, I rephrase that. What I'm saying is, I say friends, what to do is, I'm saying in controlling your life. Because comparison is a problem we are saying now. How to get out of comparison, right? It's the ability, right? You do not need to compete. You do not need to announce yourself. But the real confidence we're talking about here is the ability to clap for others without questioning your own worth. What does that mean is appreciating others without asking yourself questions about your life. That does not mean you're not growing. But like I said, everybody grows, has time, has direction, has time. Everybody has time for their own growth. It is the maturity to understand that someone else shining does not make yours dimmer. Mr. A can have this achievement. Mr. B can have this achievement. That does not mean it impacts yours. That is the real power. That is the real power. And maybe that's the mindset you need to build from today forward is that how can I get better every day? How can I get better than how can I get better every day? How can I achieve this? How can I become more rooted in who I am? How can I be confident in my life? How can I be confident in my direction for life? How can I achieve my own destiny? How can I achieve these things that this guy is saying? It's simple. Because the strongest people are not ones who win every comparison. They are the ones who are no longer who no longer need comparison to know their value. These are the strongest people. These are the people that do not care if everybody in their surrounding have achieved what they want to achieve. Because the person know when his time would come, he would achieve it. So you don't need to kill yourself. You don't need to pressure yourself unnecessarily. Because a lot of people are going to unnecessary depth. I think that will be a different video for another day. A lot of people are going for unnecessary depths to please people. I keep asking myself, why do people want to please people? I do not understand it. Because you don't know what I do to achieve mine. And you want to please people. So if comparison has been quietly destroying your confidence, I believe this discussion we've had today would help you in one or two ways. You do not need to become someone else to be enough. Okay? You do not need to rush your life to make it meaningful. No, because if you rush it, anyhow you want to rush it, what would be would always be. So why don't you give it time? Give it time. Because I keep saying it, your own time would come. And your life does not need to look like theirs to be beautiful. So stop comparing. Start grounding yourself. Start saying no. Start saying no. And start honoring your pace. Start understanding your path. Start building a confidence that comes from truth, not comparison. The confidence comes from you, not from nobody. Because the more you focus on becoming who you are meant to be, the less power of comparison. Because if you keep focusing on your life, this is my path. Always remember Formula One. This is my journey. This is my path. I would not derail from this path. I'll stick to this path no matter what happens. Trust me, everything is going to flow. Everything is going to flow. Just say one thing. This is my path. This is where I want to go. I don't want to be derailed. Thank you so much. Congratulations for your achievement. And let it die there. And guess what? Your progress will fly. Okay? And lastly, if this message has, if some way this topic we're talking about today, and you have other suggestion that would help people, feel free to make comment on this video, because we need your comment, we need your suggestion, we need your advice too, because a lot of people are lost in comparison. This channel, what we do is simple. It's how people will achieve happiness, how people will live their life successfully without going extra miles to please anybody. So thank you once again. If you watched the video to this time, I want to say thank you so much. And we hope to see you at the next video. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye bye.